Welcome to LPTV and this fourth edition of the Learning Planet Festival. We're back now with the second half of our live program being broadcast around the world for free and dedicated to helping you learn to take care of yourself, others, and our planet. My name is Kristen Davis, and it's a pleasure to be hosting the LPTV's live broadcast from the Learning Planet Institute here in Paris, France, on this UNESCO International Day of Education. I'll be guiding you through the interviews, discussions, and guests we've lined up for you over the next couple of hours, which will include a special session called From Citizenship to Planetizenship, led by François Taddy, founder and president of the Learning Planet Institute. As citizens of our Learning Planet, or planetizens as we prefer to be known, we want to hear from you too, and you to tell us what you're thinking and what you're feeling. You can reach out to us directly via Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, or you can connect to us on our Learning Planet community and others. Meet others that, like you, are motivated to learn by joining our Discord server. The button is next to this live stream on our website. Just before our break, I asked you to tell us what you'd like to learn more about. You can do this by flashing the QR code on screen, clicking the link next to the live stream. It's super easy to respond to any of our questions. You don't even have to download anything to sign up or to log in. We've made it that easy for you. So give it a try now. Simply flash the QR code and tell us what it is that you'd like to learn more about. Is it protecting the environment? Maybe it's improving mental health, or tech and online learning, acting for social justice. Perhaps it's all of the above and becoming a planetizen. You're in the right place if you want to learn about any of these topics, as they are all core themes on our LPTV program over the next few hours, and the Learning Planet Festival events over the next 5 days. Now, before we jump into the metaverse, yes, get ready players, that's going to be our next stop. I want to welcome Gaëll Mainguy, who is the Executive Vice President at the Learning Planet Institute, who's just joined me here in the studio. Gaëll, welcome. This morning, you were leading a discussion on accelerating the environmental transition, which was just one of the many areas the Learning Planet is focused on. Transforming the workplace and lifelong learning is another area you're very active in. Can you tell us why is it important for corporate leaders and organizations to become learning organizations? What is it that's at stake for them?
Well, thank you, Kristen, for that very important question. I think if we go back to what a learning organization is, a learning organization has been defined. There are different definitions, but one that I like very much is the ability for the organization to maintain its capacity to adapt to a changing environment. And so we heard this morning, and I think we are all aware that we are facing extraordinary complex challenges that are intertwined, that are daunting, that present us with a landscape that is very difficult to cope with. And because it is that difficult, there is no recipe for how we're going to cope with it in the future. And I think a good analogy or a good example of that is when COVID started, we were not prepared. We thought we would be prepared, but we were not. And we had to invent a lot of things. We had to create a lot of things. We had to immediately change our habits, our way to work and behave and live. So in that complex world where we have to invent a lot of things, and we will have to invent a lot of things more and more in the coming years. If you are leading an organization, if you are a mayor, and everyone has to invent new ways of living, and for that there is two things that are absolutely critical. We need to learn what are the problems, how it is connected, who I can trust, where I can find the right information, how I can learn how to learn, and learn how to get those competencies that I need to overcome those challenges, and maybe learn how to find other people so that together we can try to find solutions to those new problems. And so that brings to the second part, which is we need to learn how to collaborate. And so learning and collaborating are the two essential characteristics of learning organization. A learning organization is an organization that helps everyone in the organization to learn and get with others to collaborate. And so it's a change of paradigm with the current system where for most organizations there is a hierarchy, information is power, you're going to get a structure, a power structure that sometimes is preventing people to learn and collaborate as much as they could do. And so it's interesting to see that when it's complex, when we don't know, when we have open problems, like in research, for instance, the best strategies are open strategies. That is, you have ability to work with your colleagues, but also with people from other organizations. And so it's within the ecosystem that you can create those bonds and those mechanisms to create the ability to solve and overcome the challenges. So this is critical, and that's the reason why everyone is concerned, from leaders to parents to kids to everyone.
Certainly, and some of the words that you just mentioned there, adaptability, collaboration, those are words that we're used to hearing about in a corporate environment. Learning maybe less so, and yet it's just as important for all the reasons you just mentioned. And can you tell us how the LearningPlanet Institute is helping transforming the workplace and supporting lifelong learning?
Well, first of all, we are trying it. We are trying everything we can do to improve on those different dimensions. So we are developing a culture where everyone has to should be able to learn what he wants to learn and what he finds interesting and important. We need to have transparency in the information. We need to have ability to find who is the expert where and create collective on specific problems. So we need to facilitate the emergence. Instead of pre-organizing things, we need to have an ability to let people organize and create emergence of new ideas or new things that could come out of the structure. And so because we've been doing that for almost 2 decades now, and because there's more and more people that are coming to see whether we can collaborate on establishing new ways to do things, I think it's interesting to see that we are now developing some executive programs and some specific learning mechanism by which other people can learn how to transform their culture so that it's conducive for emergence. That is to say, we need a place where people feel empowered to not only understand, but also acquire the competencies that are required for them to tackle the challenges that they are facing. And so if we do that at all the different levels in the organization, then we will have an organization that is much more robust, much more resilient, much more future-facing, and we'll be able to tackle challenges as they come. And also maybe, because we are in such an environment that is changing, go up to the higher level, which is change their raison d'être, right? We have organizations, and this is the moment where we can see more and more of those organizations that see this is the challenges that we are facing. We can no longer continue business as usual. What is it that we can do to contribute to the solutions and not only to the problem? And so for that to happen, we need collectively to have everyone in the organization that understand the challenges, understand the potential solution, and make the change happen.
Thank you so much for that, Gaëll, and for giving us that insight into how you're working with corporates to help them transform learning and, in fact, become learning organizations. Now, we've asked you what you'd like to learn more about. Is it protecting the environment, improving your mental health, tech and online learning, acting for social justice, or in fact, all of the above and becoming a planetizen? And I just checked the results. A staggering 68% of our audience has said all of the above. You're clearly all keen, motivated learners. So we're going to be following up on all of those subjects with our poll. Thank you to all of you that have responded to our questions and shared your thoughts and feelings with us about what you want to learn. Transforming education must be a collaborative process, as Gaëll has just said. So don't ever be shy to speak up about your needs. If you want to gain inspiration and confidence to speak up, be sure to check out the rest of this week's festival program to hear from students, teachers, EdTech specialists, education activists, and learning game changers on how they got started and how you can get involved. Thank you.